Good afternoon, students. Welcome in SCP lecture. Today I will start the lecture of Hospital and Clinical Pharmacy, chapter number 6, Non-Sterile Manufacturing. Okay. Let us first shortly look at what we saw in previous lecture. Okay. Definition, then introduction and space requirement, then manufacturing department and equipment. Equipment. In definition, what we have saw in previous lecture, the definition of non-sterile manufacture is concerned with the non-sterile manufacturing concerned with fabrication of dosage forms except parenterals, which is carried out according to standard by lay down under the Schedule M and N of Drug and Cosmetic Act 1945. Then introductory part of non-sterile manufacture, then space requirement of non-sterile manufacture, then manufacturing department. In manufacturing department, first is cleanliness, then raw materials, then manufacturing procedures, and last is equipment. In equipment, method of granulation, wet granulation, dry granulation, and direct compression. In wet granulation, we have seen in previous lecture. Now see the dry granulation. Okay. In dry granulation is also known as sludging. The granulations are prepared by screening previously prepared large compact masses, that is sludge, of the mixture. It is applicable to substances which have cohesive properties and those which can not be granulated by above method. First is ingredients, then second is wet all ingredients, then grinding, then next step is additives, then mix well, then next step is sludging, then crushing, then screening, and add a lubricant after the screening and mix, and then it is compression. Okay. Then direct compression. Third is direct compression. Some chemical substances like potassium chloride, then potassium iodide, then ammonium chloride possess free flowing as well cohesive properties. Hence, this can be compressed directly without granulation. After compression of tablets, they are deducted to remove trace of powder adhering to tablet surface. The deducted tablets are then subjected to different types of coating. These are the dry granulation and direct compression of granulation method. Okay. Then next point of equipment is manufacture of pills and compressed tablets. In first point is granulation section. In granulation section, disintegrators, then powder mixer, then mass mixer, then granulators and thermostatically controlled ovens. Then next point is coating section. B is coating section. In coating section, jacked kettles, then which can be gas or electrically heated for preparation of solution, coating pans, polishing pan heater, and exhaust system. Okay. Then next is C, capsule filling. In capsule filling, mixing and blending equipments, capsule filling machine, and capsule counter. Then next D, ointments and liquids. In ointment and liquids, thermostatically controlled and electrically heated hot air oven. Then gas or electrically heated kettles with suitable mixing arrangements, tube filling machine, then mixing and storage tanks made of stainless steels or other suitable materials, liquid, then filling machines, autoclaves, filter press, aluminum cap sealing machine. These are the ointments and liquids. Okay. The manufacture of pills and compression tablets in that 4 points. First is granulating section, second is coating section, third is capsule filling, and last one is ointment and liquids. Okay, then next point is bulk concentrates. In bulk concentrates, the many solutions and semi-solids which can be used as pharmaceutical aids after dilution are compounded in bulk as concentrates. In bulk concentrates, the many solutions and semi-solids which can be used as a pharmaceutical aid after dilution are compounded in the bulk as concentrates. Then compounding, processing, storage in containers and labeling is carried out in the bulk compounding laboratories. These laboratories should be maintained well, keeping it clean and in an orderly manner. It should meet all the requirements for the pharmaceutical operations. The library should have adequate space for installation of equipments. Then next point is the material should be stocked in an orderly manner. This will minimize the changes of cross contamination. Then the bulk compounding laboratory should be designed to have proper humidity control and supply of the filtered air. Then there should be properly maintained animal house. Adequate facilities should be provided like washing and cleaning, then joggers, toilets, etc. for the workers. These are the bulk concentrates. Then procedure for bulk compounding. Generally, the liquid, orals and semi-solids are bulk compounded. The liquid oral bulk compounded generally includes syrups, hydroalcoholic products, suspension, emulsion, and the bulk compounded semi-solids are emulsions or ointments. General procedure for production of syrup involves: first is dissolution of all water-soluble ingredients except sucrose. First, dissolution of all water-soluble ingredients but except sucrose. Addition of sucrose followed by sorbitals. Then parabens may be added. Then fourth is make up the volume, cool and filter. These are the general procedure for production of syrup involves. First is dissolution of all water soluble ingredients except sucrose. Second is addition of sucrose followed by sorbitals. Then third is parabens may be added. Then fourth is make up the volume, cool and filter. Then next for hydroalcoholic solutions. Next procedure for the hydroalcoholic solutions. The steps are: first step is dissolve all alcohol soluble ingredients in the alcoholic solvents. Second, water soluble ingredients are dissolved in water. Then with continuous agitation add aqueous solutions to alcoholic solution. These three steps procedure are involved in the for hydroalcoholic solution. What is first? Dissolve all alcohol soluble ingredients in alcoholic solvent. Then water soluble ingredients are dissolved in water. Then last is with continuous agitation add aqueous solution to alcoholic solution. Then last point is commercial production of emulsion. Commercial production of emulsion. In commercial production of emulsion, the equipment has to carry out two functions: is to break the dispersible phase in the form of globules and the disperse them throughout the system. The emulsifying machines can be broadly put into the following four classes. First is mixers, then second is homogenizers, then third is colloid mills, and fourth is ultrasonic emulsifiers and ointment mill. First is mixers. In mixers, these are the moving beaters to smash the globules of dispersible phase and to reduce their size progressively. In that mixers, these are moving beaters to smash the globules of the dispersible phase and to reduce the size progressively. Then homogenizers, these work continuously This is mill. Large globules to the dispersible phase of the coarse emulsion are broken up into the small globules by passing through a narrow aperture fitted with a wall. Okay. Now see the image of homogenizer. This image of homogenizer. Then the emulsion is fed under high pressure. It is forced against the floating value, which is adjusted to open the predetermined gap. Okay. Then the coarse emulsion is forced through a central opening. The coarse emulsion is forced through a central opening in the lower part and then outwards through the central opening. Okay, in the lower part and then outward through the gap. The coarse emulsion is forced through a central opening in a lower part and then outward through a central opening in the lower part and then outward through a gaps. The outlet is just above this point. Okay, these are the homogenizers. Then emulsifier. Then next is emulsifier. Emulsifier used for the suspension and emulsification etc. Then complete with 3 HP, 5 HP motor and channel stand with wheels and string head etc. Special arrangement for the mechanical lifting and lowering down. Then stirrer suitable for dissolving and mixing of syrup, suspension and emulsion. Capacity is 200 liters to 1000 liters. Okay. That is, these are the stirrer suitable for the dissolving, mixing of syrup and suspension and emulsion. Capacity is 200 liters to 1000 liter. Then next is colloidal mill. These are work continuously in the colloid mills. Also coarse emulsion is reduced to fine globule size by passing between two closely applied surfaces. In other words, the principle is the same as that of homogenizer. Here the coarse emulsion is not fed under pressure. Then performed coarse emulsion is fed into the mill and the globules are broken up by a shearing action is in passing between the rotor. Speed is 1000 to 20,000 rpm and stator. Okay, these are the colloidal mill. So I will stop here. Thank you.